Howdy everyone, how are you on this Tuesday? This is Bess McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Illenore Club School for Network Marketers, making network marketing simple. It's been snowing around the Midwest and Colorado and Kansas. How's it where you are? Well, sometimes the weather can be a challenge, and that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. About challenges and how we face them and how we can use them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. So who here does not go through challenges? Hello, Rosenza, welcome. So good to see you. So we're talking about challenges, and you know, they seem to make life hard, right? But actually we can use those challenges. It's our choice how we use them. And last week, I spoke about on this Facebook Live, this regular every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Facebook Live. Last week, I spoke about how to turn discouragements into, and failures into stepping stones, and how to get over discouragement by realizing that everyone who has ever succeeded has had probably tons and tons and tons of failures and setbacks, which they didn't count on. So we can now look at that as part of success. That's going to be an expected part of what we go through. Thank you for the loves. Thank you, everybody. And for those listening to the replay, I'd love if you write replay so that I know that you're hearing it, that you're hearing that. And for those who are watching, would love if you put in the comments pro. If you consider yourself a network marketing professional, I'd love to acknowledge you for that. And hello, Jeffrey. Bring them on camera. Yeah, can we do that? Can I bring people on camera? Oh. Gosh. Okay, so back to the challenges. The challenges become your badge of honor. Last week, I listened to Eric Worre interviewing Pitbull for the upcoming GoPro Recruiting Mastery. He's going to be speaking, and I can't wait. I will be there. If anybody else is going to be there, would you put GoPro Recruiting Mastery in the comments, and maybe we can even meet there. So this is just going to be wonderful. I hope to see you there. So Eric is toward the letting people know about that. He interviewed Pitbull, and I was quite surprised how much I liked it. My favorite part was when he said that he loves challenges. He gets excited by them. You know, people sue their company or something, and he actually gets excited about that, about embracing the challenges. And I thought how wonderful that would be if all people in network marketing or in business or all spouses or all parents felt that way about challenges. Like, oh boy, here's a challenge. All right, I get to grow and I get to learn. This is going to stretch me. Oh boy, here we go. You know, how would that be if we embraced challenges that much? And I thought, well, can I measure up to that? Can I be as good as he is? Can I get excited when a challenge happens? And he was speaking about that when you get together with others, you know, that really is your passport to pass card to success, is the challenges that you face. Hello, Guy, welcome. And when you get together with other people who've been through that, you know it. You know each other. You know what they've been through. And nothing can ever replace that. No amount of book learning or rationalizing or affirmations can replace actual experience of going through something tough and getting the muscle, the personal growth muscle that you get as a result of going through that. And that adds to your skills and your talents and your ability to succeed. Hello, Alicia. Welcome. So that's how we get to success. That is how we get there, through the challenges, not avoiding them. It's not how few challenges you can get on the way to success, it's how many. Because don't we learn the most from mistakes? And so if we do, then let us make a lot of mistakes. Not on purpose, but let us embrace all of these mistakes that we make and all these challenges and simply learn from them. Of course, learning from them is the key, right? to using them as stepping stones, not avoiding them, not forgetting them, not denying them, but using them for growth. And that's why I think Pitbull gets excited about challenges, because that's where the purification happens. When it's hard, that trial by fire that happens. But when you think back in your life, the things that have been hard and you've succeeded and you've come through them, don't you feel good about yourself by doing that? And didn't you learn the most at that time? When I used to live in Austin, Texas, there was a group of entrepreneurs there, and they had a word for that trial by fire. They called it the Valley of Death. And they said every entrepreneur must pass through the Valley of Death. Every business must go through that stage where it's very, very hard and barren. And, you know, the Death Valley in California is where many people died crossing it. They didn't make it through. But every business, if you do survive that and you do make it through, you know, you get to the promised land. But every business must face that. And we must face that in ourselves too. Actually, whenever we want to achieve something better, when we want something better than we have, when we want to reach for that. Hello, Alicia. So please share if you know someone who can use an inspiration today, who can use what we're talking about today. Please share that. And also, if you have a question about this or a comment that you'd like to share, please type that in, and I'll get to those in just a moment. I have a couple more thoughts to share. And that is, you know, we're talking about this trial by fire and the necessity for it, for growth and for success. Have you ever seen a good movie that doesn't have a trial by fire or a challenge that the hero and heroine has to go through? No. We love movies because there's a hard part in it, and people survive that and they learn from that and they come out the other side. That's why we like them. You know, because we can learn something from them too, or we can relate and identify with that. But every good movie plot has a trial by fire, a strong challenge that person struggles and grows and comes out victorious. And we love that. You know, so why not love that in our life? Why not love the story, the adventure, and the challenge in our life, rather than say, oh, I wish I didn't have that, or let me see how I can avoid that. You know, maybe by not being an entrepreneur, not having a relationship, I'll avoid those challenges. But we don't get to have the reward either, do we? So let's embrace life. Let's go for that. Now, you know that the harder the trial, the sweeter the success. And in the movies, you feel the harder the trial was, the happiest you feel for the hero and heroine afterward, because that makes the success sweeter. It makes it more valuable. And we know that the more we pay for something, the more value it is to us, right? The more work that it is, the more we invest in it and struggle and learn and grow and keep our commitment and go through that hard time. The sweeter the success, the more valuable, the more that we get out of it, the more joy that we have as a result. And so that's what makes life valuable. And I know that recently I went through it's kind of too personal to share completely, but I was discouraged twice in this project that I was working on. Had two discouragements, and the first one was very hard, and the second one looked like it was the same thing. And I thought, okay, the second aspect is just going to be the same as the first. It's just going to be another discouragement, something that isn't going to work. And I found myself kind of approaching that second project or second aspect of it kind of half-heartedly. And then I thought, no, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it all of my love and all of my commitment and the best of me, just because of how I'll feel inside by doing it. And guess what? It worked. So if I would have approached it thinking, oh, it's going to be another one of those things that don't work, you know, probably that attitude would have made it not work. But instead, I just said, okay, if it does or doesn't work, I'm still going to give it my best, my all, and bring my best preparation to it and bring my best open heart and love and efforts to it to give to it. And it worked. So don't miss out. Don't miss out on that. Hello, Kylo. Welcome. Welcome. So this is what we teach in the MLM Illenore Club, my school for network marketers, and this month we're going through communication skills and mindset. So this is exactly what we do in the school and in the club. We have these live teleclasses where we work through these things, live coaching, like counseling classes and coaching classes. So very good. And they also get weekly, very powerful lessons and a buddy system and a library of resources and tools and videos to work on too. So it's very good. It's a whole year curriculum for network marketers. I'm very proud of it. 13 years old, and we've refined it. It's very, very good. So we'd love to have you check that out. I'll put that link in the comments. Now, are there any comments about anything that I've said today? Any questions that you have about how do you face this challenge? Sure, that sounds good, Bess. Yeah, sure, let's embrace the challenges. But what about when it is very hard? Does anyone have an example of that? Anything they'd like to ask in the questions? Or any comments, insights, or wisdom that you've gone through that you would like to share about what you've learned about going through challenges? Because I like to share that as well. Okay, so I'll give you a minute to type either your questions or insights that you would like to share. And I'll tell you what we're going to do next week while I'm waiting for that. Next week, every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Time, Facebook Live here. And next week is going to be communication skills. I have a communication technique that I teach called Compassionate Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. And it's a very simple 4-step process that applies to every situation, whether it's business or personal challenges. And I will show that to you next week. And I would like to invite you to bring any challenges to that communication challenges you have for me to that Facebook Live, and we'll do them live that day. So anything that you can stump me with and say, how would you handle this situation properly or like a professional? How in the world would you handle this? Then I would like to show you that next week. So we'll do a little coaching on communication, and please bring me a challenge. Bring me your hardest communication challenge. And it's said that all problems are communication problems. So anything happening in your life or business that you feel comfortable sharing, you can just type that in or ask a question next week, and I will demonstrate that communication process for you. And Amy, welcome. Welcome. There's something, I'll wait for any questions or comments here. There's something I'd like to try to do. It says that I can add people who are watching. So Jeffrey David Gamble, if you are still watching, I'm going to push add and see what happens, because I want to explore and see what it's like to add somebody here. Okay, there. Jeffrey received an invite to jump on. Just curious, see how this is. He always has a lot to share. If you haven't seen his page yet, Jeffrey David Gamble, a lot to share. A very expert and interesting and professional entrepreneur in many areas. And he has spoken for our MLM Illenore Club a couple of times, a guest speaker, and I always learn a ton from him. Oh my goodness. And he's a beautiful friend too, besides a business person. So we'll see if that happens. Okay, any comments or questions before we conclude? Hope you can come back and watch next time. How about a takeaway? Does anybody have a takeaway or something that you got from this session, from this Facebook Live, that you will put into practice in your business this week? Or just what was your favorite takeaway? Did you get something from this Facebook Live that you would like to share? A takeaway, something that you got. Love to hear that. Welcome, Lee. Glad you're here. We're offering the comments open for questions and for insights and wisdom that people may want to share, that I can share with the group. So I'll wait just a moment and see if anybody has anything to share. Oh, and there's Jen. Welcome, Jen. Glad you're here. Okay, I don't see any questions or comments. So again, if you're watching the replay, love for you to type that into the comments. And if you know someone who can benefit from hearing this today, someone that you care about, please share. And thank you for sharing. And we'll be back Tuesday, a week from today, 2 p.m. Facebook Live, to teach communication skills. And Eric, welcome Eric. Welcome Shania. Has a comment here. Shania Tony says, I've been struggling with discouragement and I needed to hear this. Thank you. Gosh, I'm so glad. That makes my day, Shania. Thank you for your comment. Oh, I'm touched. Don't we all struggle with discouragement? I think that's the biggest enemy of network marketers, or perhaps maybe anyone. Discouragement and disappointment. It's just getting back up again, right? I always get a little teary-eyed. You're very, very welcome. Again, if it helped and you think you know people that could hear it, please share. We all need a little boost, and we're here to help each other. Send this on to your team too. Shania, remember, when you struggle with discouragement, I think it gives you compassion for other people who do too. And that's what I have. I've struggled with that myself. And I told a little about a little victory I had earlier in the video about that. About saying, okay, like Mother Teresa says, there's people that gonna, her poem I just love. Maybe I'll put that in the comments too. But it's about doing it for bigger reasons than people's response, right? We do it for our inside, our higher reasons, our what it does for us to keep giving quality efforts, even though it might look like it's not resulting in anything, because we benefit the most from that, and we do it for maybe something bigger than us. So I'm going to post that in the comments too. And Brenda, welcome. Any other comments? Any other insights about dealing with discouragement or challenges? Any other questions? I'd love to take questions, and I'd love to hear your insights to share with the group. Shania says yes. Yeah. Think about your team, who there is struggling with challenges and discouragement that you can uplift, and send them this today. I'm gonna keep it short so it won't be any longer for people to share. Okay, love you guys. See you next time. See you online. Take care. Bye-bye.